Hey guys, what's up? So we're looking at circles today, guys, and we're gonna dive right into the area of a circle, okay? So as we can see here, we have a nice, wonderful circle right here. And circles are measured in degrees, guys. So in this case, this is a 360-degree circle, right? The degrees right around the circle measure up to 360 degrees, okay? Also, we have the radius here. R is the radius, which is the distance from the end of the circle to the middle of the circle. And we have D, which is the diameter, and that's the distance from one end of the circle to the other end of the circle, okay? So the radius is half the diameter, obviously. This would be the radius also, just from here to here. From here to the center would also be the radius. And the diameter is 2 times the radius, okay, which is just the length from here all the way to here, okay. All right, guys, so let's look at the area now. Also, let's look at this symbol called pi. We use the symbol called pi. Pi is also known as 22/7 or 3.142 to 3 decimal places. And we're going to use this term pi a lot, guys, to find the area and the circumference of the circle, okay? So it says here the area of the circle A is equal to pi r squared. So it's pi times the radius squared, or it's 1/4 times pi d squared, okay? Now the circumference of a circle, what the circumference of the circle is, it's actually the entire distance right around the circle, okay? So the length of the distance right around the circle, right, from here, from this point going right around back to that point, cool, is called the circumference. So the circumference, guys, is basically the perimeter of the circle, okay? Think of it that way. All right, and the circumference of the circle, C, is equal to 2 pi r, right? 2 pi times the radius, or pi times the diameter, okay? So that's how you calculate the circumference of the circle, okay? So it says here where r is equal to the radius of the circle, d is equal to the diameter, which we explained here, right? And pi is equal to 22/7, which is equal to 3.142, all right? So I would advise, guys, when you're calculating the area and the circumference, just use 3.142 as pi, put it in your calculator, and calculate the circumference or the area, okay? All right, guys, so we pretty much have the formulas for the circle. Okay, we don't really need anything else. All we need to know is do some examples and just get used to calculating these circles. Okay, so you know I love to do 3 examples, so let's dive right into some examples. Okay, all right, guys, so we're going to be looking at 3 questions now, and it says here find the area and circumference of 1, 2, and 3 of the 3 circles. Okay, and we have the formulas here, so we really can't get mixed up. All right. And if we look at this example, we can see that the radius is 4 millimeters, right? So all we have to do now is calculate the area, okay, using the radius. So the area is equal to pi r squared, right? So this is equal to, we're going to use pi as 3.142, okay? So this is equal to 3.142 multiplied by 4 millimeters squared. Cool. And we're just gonna put that in our calculators, and the answer we should get is 50.27. all right, I'm gonna leave the answer in 2 decimal places. Okay, so it's 50.27 millimeters squared. All right, so let's find the circumference, which is the distance right across the edge of the circle, right? So the circumference for this circle is going to be equal to 2 pi r, right? Which should be equal to 2 multiplied by 3.142 multiplied by 4. Okay, 4 millimeters. And let's put that in our calculators, and we should get 25.14 millimeters, and I left it to 2 decimal places. All right, guys. All right, so we found the answer for number 1. We're pretty much fine there. And let's find everything to 2 decimal places. Let's leave everything in 2 decimal places. And let's do number 2 now. All right, so let's find the area for number 2. We're going to do the same thing. The area is equal to pi r squared. In this case, r, the radius is equal to 5 meters. So we're going to get 3.142 multiplied by 5 meters squared, right? So we're going to put that in our calculators, and we should get 78.55. I'm going to leave the answer in 2 decimal places, and this should be meters squared. All right, notice the area is meters squared or millimeters squared in the last example. And we need to find the circumference as well. So for the circumference, we're going to find 2 pi r, which should be equal to 2 multiplied by 3.142 multiplied by r, which is 5, right? 5 meters. All right, so we're going to put that in our calculators, and we should get the circumference equal to 31.42 to 2 decimal places in meters. Okay. All right, so for the last one here, guys, we have the diameter for this one. Okay, so we did number 1, we did number 2, and we're looking at number 3, and we can see that for at a point r is the center, and all we have is the diameter. So we have the distance of the diameter and not the radius. So we can do this in 2 ways, guys. Either we can divide this diameter by 2, and if we divide the diameter by 2, we would end up with 4.5 centimeters, and then use the 4.5 in the formula. Or you could just ignore that completely, and you could put 9 in these formulas, right? Remember, we have 1 over 4 pi d squared is also equal to the area, and pi d is also equal to the circumference. So for this example, let's use those formulas to solve the question. So the area should be equal to 1 over 4 times pi, which is 3.142, times d squared, which is 9 centimeters squared, right? And we should end up getting, for the answer, we should get 63.63 centimeters squared. Okay, and for the circumference in this case is going to be equal to pi d, just pi multiplied by d. So in this case, we're going to get 3.142 multiplied by 9 centimeters. Cool, very easy this way. And we should get 28.28 centimeters as the circumference. All right, guys. So it's really simple here. I know you guys are probably seeing pi for the first time, probably seeing diameter and radius for the first time, but don't let it mix you up. It's a very simple thing. Very simple, guys. This is the basics of it. All right. So remember, guys, these are the formulas. It's important to know these formulas, all right? When you're doing math, it's good to know these formulas by heart. Don't swat them, just remember what they are, and remember how to solve these circles with the radius or the diameter, and find the area or the circumference of the circle. Okay, guys? Awesome. So we're going to move on now, and we're going to move on to sectors, okay? It's going to be interesting, all right, guys? All right, guys, so that's it, and I'll see you in the next lecture, and remember to do your best, and God will do the rest.